Danny. Yes, there you
Yeah.
are.
Hey, I'm an atheist.
Hey, we
I'm
can
not.
fix that. No, we can
Oh,
fix
okay.
it. Okay.
Do you have any good arguments against atheism?
Well, how did the world get here?
Let's say I don't know.
Well, then you're not an atheist.
How does that follow?
You're an agnostic because you don't know.
No, I don't know why there's a world rather than no world, but that doesn't mean that I don't take a
Okay.
position on whether God exists.
Do you know for sure there's no God, or this is something you believe there's no God? I don't think you know everything, do you?
I don't know everything, but I'm pretty
Okay.
confident that God does not exist.
All right. Do you know maybe half of everything in the world?
If you're talking about all true propositions, no, I don't even not nearly
Okay.
half.
Well, could it be possible that God does exist and the other half you don't know?
Depends on the concept of God. There are
Okay.
incoherent versions. I'm sure you agree.
Oh yeah,
So,
crazy
mhm.
ones out there.
Right. So it just kind of depends on the concept.
Well, I take that. I look at it like this. It's real simple, Danny. We're here. There's two options. Somebody made this place, or nobody made it. I believe God created the world out of nothing. You believe the world made itself out of nothing.
I don't believe that.
How did the world get here?
I already told you I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Do you
I
have any
think
arguments against atheism?
I think it's illogical to say if I said I don't think anybody made this pencil.
I
You
think
think
that
that
would
would be?
be weird to say and irrational, perhaps, but I don't think that the pencil and the world are going to be on the same playing
Oh, I
field.
think the world and life is a whole lot more complicated than a pencil. Believe me. Okay. A single cell is more complicated than the space shuttle. So I think if you want to be an atheist, that's your prerogative. But I think
But
it's foolish.
do you have any arguments against atheism? Because I haven't heard any.
The design of the world. This is it's too complex. The
Why is it?
DNA,
Why do you think? Oh, go ahead. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Danny, the DNA molecules, the chromosomes in your body, average person has 100 trillion cells. Each cell contains 46 of those chromosomes, real tightly wound up. The gametes only have 23. They've done studies and said if you unwound the chromosomes and tied it together from one person, that's the code to make you. That DNA strand, just from you, not everybody, just you, would go across the solar system twice. That's the code to make Danny. How did that get coded like that?
Yeah, but you're not saying that if I don't know or if we don't know, therefore God, right? That's not. You want to say that it's complicated. It has, there's certain patterns to DNA that might make you think that it's designed. But you want to point to its complicated nature, right? That in terms of why it's
Well,
designed.
you asked what evidence, and I'm saying that the complexity, the complicated part of nature says it's not possible that it happened by chance.
Okay,
It's
so
not possible.
is God's mind complicated?
Is what God's time complicated? Was that?
God's mind.
Oh, the mind of the Lord's talked about in the Bible quite a bit. I think it's logical to say if somebody created this world, he would tell us why he did it and tell us what the rules are.
But
If you're an atheist,
my question is where you think God's mind is complicated. That's the question.
it must be way beyond comprehension. If he knows everything, he knows everything you've ever said and thought and done. And Danny, he loves you anyway. But if you don't accept his offer of forgiveness, you're going to get a fair trial.
You see, the way I
You're not
see
gonna,
it, the way I understand you is you want to say things like DNA are complicated, so there's likely a designer. But then you think God's mind is way more complicated than anything that you've seen, physically at least.
Mhm.
But you don't think that God has a designer. So it seems like
No,
if by your own principle, you're committed to an infinite regress of creators at worst, or at
well,
best.
I think you have to have a creator that's outside of time, space, and matter. We're the ones that are stuck in time, space, matter. I don't think God is.
I don't
The
think
God
it
that I
makes sense.
worship is totally outside of all that. He's not affected by it.
I don't think it really makes sense to say God's outside of time because then he couldn't change.
Well, God created time, stepped into time, and He controls it. And but this is the difference is, Danny. I admit mine's a religion, and I believe this. You probably will not admit that yours is a religion. Do you think evolution theory should be taught in public schools at taxpayer expense? Should we all
Sure.
be required to teach what really amounts to atheism?
I'm fine with evolution being taught.
I know. Would it be okay if creation was taught?
In a science class?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's kind of weird. It's like teaching math in a science class.
Well, I taught math too, but why do you think evolution is part of science? Where's the evidence?
It's supposed to
When's it?
be. Go
Hmm?
ahead. What was it? I cut you off. Go
When?
ahead.
Yeah. When has anybody ever seen any animal change to something else, or
When
even
has
start to
any
change to
when
something
has
else?
anybody seen God create kinds?
I admit mine's a religion. Why don't you admit evolution's a religion? And we'll
It
be on
doesn't
equal
follow
footing.
that you've never seen a particular phenomenon, therefore it's a religion.
It's something you have to believe in. This chart that they
Is
want
that
us
how you're
all to,
defining religion? Then everything's a religion in terms of
well, it's not
views.
part of science. That's where we need to carefully keep science pure. Science is what we can observe, study, test, and demonstrate. We can observe a lot of things.
No,
We can
I wouldn't
observe.
really. I mean, I think science is a little bit more complicated than that because there's
Well,
certain things about there's something called natural history. We can't always verify natural historical facts like we can, like whether what the products are to certain reactants in a chemistry set.
well, the definition of science, if you want to Google it, is knowledge gained from using observations and experiments to
Yeah, I
describe
think
the
that's a
world.
little bit of an untechnical definition.
Okay. What is science?
Wow.
Easybiologyclass.com. The
Mhm.
word comes from knowledge. Seer, what do we know?
What? So
Organization
you're
of
asking me what
knowledge.
science is? Is that what you're asking me? How I
Well, it's
use the term?
knowledge. Science is what we know and how we can things we can observe and study and test. That's a standard definition of science in many, many books.
Again, that might be a colloquial definition, but I think science, like if we're going to be technical about this, maybe we need to be more careful because like there are going to be things that you could observe, study, and like you can if let's say you're right, and let's say Jesus is God, right? The disciples, saw, observed Jesus, right? The Pharisees tested him, is now studying God, they're now science. Is that what you want to say?
Well, he showed certainly plenty of evidence, raising the dead, walking on water, making 5 little boys sack lunch, feed 20,000 people. I think that's pretty good evidence he's not just a normal human. Then
Well,
to
I think what
predict
I'm
his,
pointing out is that I'm fine to use that sense of science. I'm just saying it's a little broad, right? It's too
uh,
broad, I think.
well, it comes the Latin word seer, to know. What do we know? We know cows produce cows. That we know. We see it all the time. We do not
Mhm.
know that cows are related to mosquitoes. This chart has cows related to mosquitoes.
By related, you mean what?
They came from a common ancestor. Nobody's ever seen any of these steps.
Okay. Do
No,
you think a cow is related to a mosquito via common
no.
design?
I think the same guy designed them. Sure.
So they're related.
No,
Either
the
way, they're
same guy.
related, right?
No. Well, they have a common designer. Do you think that should be taught in
So
science
do
class?
you think you're related to a banana?
No.
Yeah, you're just common designer. You're related to a
Well,
banana.
I think God made everything so that we have a relationship so that I can eat the banana and the same molecules in there can be absorbed into my body and used for things that I need. So I think it's a very complex symbiotic relationship that
Yeah,
God
but
designed.
you have a common, just like, do you think let's say, I don't know what kind of car company do you like? What kind of car do you think a Honda Accord is related to a Honda Civic?
I think the same guys probably the same design team probably designs them.
Right,
There's
so
probably
they're
a lot of
related.
similarities.
They're related then.
No, that's what you got to define the word related, like as in like brother sister related,
They
or
have a common cause.
well, we're off topic a little bit now. You said you're an
Well, I'm
atheist.
just curious. Do you think by related I mean common cause?
I think, oh yeah, a common cause was a bunch of people. A whole lot of people had to build those things. They didn't
Okay,
build
so
themselves.
you're related to a banana under that definition.
Well, that's where you get
Common cause. God is the common cause
training at a
there.
gnat and swallowing a camel here.
Why do you really think you're related to a banana?
You're the one that said that, not me. I said no.
Wait, but I'm using related to mean common cause.
Okay, you can use related however you want. I do not
Okay.
have a common ancestor
But
with a
under
banana.
that definition of related, you'd be related to a banana,
I think I have a common designer with a banana.
which is a
I don't think I
common
have
cause, right?
I
A
don't think
designer
no.
would count as a
You're trying to
cause.
twist. You're trying to twist it now.
Oh,
I don't think
I'm twisting
you
related?
are definitely twisting it. I
I
don't
don't
think
see
the
why you're
banana. I don't think the banana and I have a common ancestor. I think we have a common designer. That's very different. Go ahead.
but if we understand relatedness in terms of common causation, right? I think then under evolutionary biology, I'm related to a banana, and you would be related to a banana as well, in your view.
You're missing the point. You believe
What's
you
the
have a
point?
common ancestor with a banana in your
You have
religion.
a common designer with a,
See, that's very different. Very
but
different.
you're related to everything that he
Okay.
created.
Religion is a set of beliefs concerning the cause, nature, and purpose of the universe. Evolution is a religion. You believe in it.
I don't think
And that's the purpose of this channel.
evolution doesn't explain the universe.
They sure do. The Big Bang Theory, how did the universe get here? That's part of evolution. Cosmic evolution, chemical
I don't.
evolution.
That's not what biologists mean by evolution.
Well, now you're starting way down the chain. That's why you have to define your terms. What I do in my seminar, and have to every time, I go through the 6 different stages of evolution. There's 6 levels to meanings to it. There is cosmic evolution. That's the origin of time, space, matter. There's chemical evolution, where the hydrogen produced all the elements like gold, silver, and platinum. There's stellar evolution, where the stars evolved. Nobody's ever seen that. There's organic evolution, where life got started from
I've never seen God create a kind, though. Is that a problem?
That's why I admit mine's a religion, and you're not admitting yours is a religion.
Well,
I'm pointing out that
if you're off, what's your definition of religion again?
you must be related to Bill Clinton. What's the definition of is? Okay, you want to fight every definition. Okay, macroevolution.
You said yourself you have to be careful how you define the terms.
I agree. That's why
so
I define the
looks
term.
Like we're both Bill Clintons here.
Well, that's why I say there are 6 different meanings to the word evolution. I've done this thousands of times.
You're a super Bill Clinton.
The first 5 definitions of the word evolution are religious. Nobody's ever seen any of these. Number 6, variations within the kind. Like,
how did you define religion? How did you define religion again?
It's something you believe in by faith, but you have no evidence for.
Oh.
You believe by faith you're related to a banana. Do you have evidence for that?
Yeah, I don't really study what evolutionary biologists say. I take it upon their authority because I'm not a science guy, I'm more of a philosophy guy. But I'm fine with saying they're wrong for sake of argument. I just don't see how that's an undercutter for atheism. Okay.
Would you agree that we are here? The world is here. It's real.
There is an external world. It's real.
Okay. Would you agree that so far there's only been 2 options offered? Somebody made it or nobody made it. It made itself. Is there a third option I'm missing here?
I see the 2 options. You added a third one, but the 2 options either was created by someone or it wasn't.
Right. Okay.
So I take the second option.
You believe it wasn't created by someone. So how did it get here? Do we ever see anything create itself? What have we ever seen?
But what do you mean by create itself? You mean like random? Like it's randomly popped up?
No. Has anybody ever
create
seen
itself?
Every cause has a causer.
Oh,
Something has to cause it. You don't believe that? The Bible says in Colossians chapter 2 that you should be careful about being spoiled by philosophy. I think that happened to you. Read Colossians chapter 2. I'll put your name in there. Oh, what happened to you?
Oh, I think I was muted.
Sorry about that.
No. But then what caused God's intention to create rather than not to create?
Oh, he's outside of the cause. He's eternal.
So nothing caused it. Nothing. You believe you're on my playing field now. You believe there's something occurred without a cause.
Danny, that's long enough. You take your philosophy somewhere else or start your own channel. But okay, David, yes, sir.
Hey,